Call Allah, Yahawa, Bahashem, Yahawa Shai, Brakatehawa, Brakatehawa Shai, Brakatehawa, Brakatehawa Shai, Brakatehawa, Brakatehawa Shai, the Wada, Abba, Abba, called Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth, the 100% truth. The title of this lesson today is going to be The Lord Takes the Lowly and Make Great. And we're going to start off on 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6 and 7. The Lord Yahawa killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor, maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. And the Lord can take whoever he wants, man, and put whatever position that he wants, he takes some time, somebody that's really low or, not considered much in the society, and he can bring them up to a high degree where he can exalt them, where people can look up to that person. And, we see it oftentimes, a lot of people in sports and entertainment field or whatever reason, but a lot of that is done on the left-hand side because in order to make it into this world through a lot of these different organizations, man, you have to show your allegiance, and you go through these rituals, man, in order to make it in the society through those organizations, because they have what they call a form of gatekeeping. So, but the Lord can take whoever he wants, man, and put in any position, and he can make even your enemies work on your behalf in order to achieve this, to achieve that goal, man, whatever the Lord has set. No man can do anything about it. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27 and 28. But God, Yahawa, hath chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. And Yahawa hath chosen the weak things of this world to confound the things which are mighty. Verse 28. And base things of the world and things which are despised hath Yahawa chosen, yea, the things which are not, to bring to naught the things that are. So, and the Lord is so magnificent and so powerful, man, that he just take the most minute thing, man, and confuse the hell out of some of these most celebrated scholars, or scholarly people who, went to these high institutions, and the Lord can confound them, man. And one of the ways he does it, man, with this Bible and these precepts, I don't care how many degrees some of these people have, and, how many seminary schools and all that, they still can't decipher or code break the Bible. And the Lord take the lowly, his prophets, man, men that are of so-called low degree in the society, and he elevates them, man. He elevates them through the Holy Spirit. And the Lord has done it time and time again. You go back to like King David, when the Lord brought him into power, as a lowly child, tending his father's sheep. The Lord took him and sent him to go and defeat the Goliath, the Philistines. And, many more, cases of that in the Bible, man. The Lord take the lowly and he brings them to a high degree, and the same thing he's going to do with his prophets, man. In that time come, he's slowly building up his prophets, those who we have chosen. So when all hell break loose, man, the Lord is going to lift a standard, man. And, the prophet's going to be able to do remarkable things, like you see in the movie X-Men, with these special powers, these things that's been, and it really, a lot of those comic book characters are based off of the Bible, man, of things that happen in the Bible that has happened here on earth. So these Edomites know that the Lord's people has a chance and abilities to receive these powers, man, through our most high power, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. The same way he took these devils, Esau, Edom, from being a base man all the way at the bottom of all the other nations, man, and brought them to the top where they're ruling now in these last days, man. The same way he's going to take us, because he took us from the top and flipped us to the bottom, so that we can learn both good and evil. But um, yeah, the Lord has the power to do all that, man. You know, He can put in the power whoever He wants. All these other nations that ruled before, the Lord has orchestrated, and He said that Esau, Edom was going to be the last heathen nation that was going to rule the earth until the Lord comes back, and we're going to have a perpetual rulership of the Lord's people, man. You so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The book of Psalms, chapter 113, verse 7. Verse 7 and 8. He raises up the poor out of the dust, and He lifted up the needy out of the dunghill, that He may set him with princes, even with the princes of His people. There's just a few precepts to reedify, the power of the Lord, man, what He's able to do. Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. The matter is by decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and He giveth it to whomsoever He will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. And right now, the basis of men is ruling this world right now. Esau, Edom, man. He's a very base man. And right now, the Lord gave him the power and inventions to be able to rule and capture the earth in His power, man. But the Lord has set him up for a reason, man, to be the bad guy in this thing, man. And also shows the power of the Lord, man, because these people was up in the mountains and caves, just living like animals, and the Lord took them, brought them down and brought them in rulership, man. He done shaved off, taught them how to shave the hair off so they can look like a normal man, and not look like a wild animal, that he was at one time, when he was driven off into those caves, into those mountains. Luke chapter 1, verse 51 and verse 52. He has showed strength with His arm. He hath scattered the proud in the indignation of their hearts. He hath put down the mighty from their seats and exalted them of low degree. And one of the ones, I think you go back to King Nebuchadnezzar, when he was in rulership, he was bragging about how he had brought himself and raised up this nation to such a high power. And then immediately right after that, when he finished, talking and bragging about it, the Lord turned him into like a wild beast, man. And he had to, he lived out in the fields just like the animals, man. And hair grew long and his nails grew long. And, he was, the Lord took everything from him, And that's the power of the Lord. The Lord did that to show that He put him in that position. And then after that, the Lord gave him back his mind, then he knew that there was a power higher than him, even though he was still a heathen. But he knew that, there was no other power but Yahawa Bashem, Yahawa Shai. Excuse me doing my hands like this, man. Have the eczema on it. It should be itching. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 44, verse 1 through 3. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through His great power from the beginning. Such as did bear rule in their kingdom, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies. So the Lord has chosen the prophets, man, of the Lord. People know not a whole lot of education. It's all ranges, but He can take those who have very little education, man, and bring them to this knowledge and this truth, man, and give them all type of wisdom, and understanding. But you have some guys in this that have many degrees, or you have some that have, barely even a high school degree, and the Lord has brought them up to be able to be the Lord's prophets, man. The Lord chooses whoever He want to choose, for this truth, for this knowledge and this wisdom. And, most of your prophets of old, man, most of them guys, during the time of Yahawa Shai, they was all very ranges, man. And like a lot of times you see them say, well, who was his father and who was his family and where does he come from? And they like, man, how did he, get the chance to have this much power and, and have such understanding of the Bible? They had a hard time, realizing that the Lord chooses this. The Lord picks who he wants to be his prophets, who he wants to understand those dark sins. So we're going to finish out in Ecclesiasticus chapter 45, verse 1 through 2. And he brought out of him a merciful man, which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of Yahawa, and men whose memorial is blessed. He made him like to a glorious saints and magnified him so that his enemies stood in fear of him. Yeah, like I said, Moses was a clear example, man. He took the prophet Moses and put up his family, put him in a basket. Next thing you know, he was with the pharaohs, raised by the pharaoh's daughter. And he was in all the top assemblies, and Moses chose to go back to his people, man. So he went out into the desert. The Lord spoke with him, and he came back, man. And so the Lord lifted him up from whatever position. The same way with Joseph. When Joseph was sold off, and to be a slave, and look at the position that he ended up with the Egyptians. So the Lord, he gonna look after his people and whoever he chooses, man. Whatever route or destination he chooses them to go to get to where he want them to be, man. But that's the power of our Lord, man. We don't have no power over this. All this is doing of the Lord. So we just can't be braggadocious about saying that we have this special power and we were able to choose this. No, we didn't choose nothing. Lord chose whoever he wants. And so all that being said, man, hopefully this lesson was edifying. We have to keep that in mind, man. Keep us humble that we didn't choose this. The Lord chose whoever he wanted to choose for this. With that, say shalom.